child in Florida is the first reported death of this year's flu season. Florida health officials say the unidentified child tested positive for influenza B. He was not vaccinated and was otherwise healthy before getting sick with the flu. The CDC reports 183 children in the U.S. died from flu last season. Around 80% of those children were not vaccinated. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Tara Narula has more.
Pediatric death in Florida was an unvaccinated child with no known underlying medical conditions. This comes as a new national survey shows some parents don't see the benefits of the flu vaccine. It found more than half believe that their children can actually contract the flu from the vaccine, and a third believe the shot does not protect their kids from the flu at all. In addition, 28% believe that it can cause autism. Infectious disease specialist Dr. William Schaffner.
Every pediatrician, family doctor has to be out there convincing all of us that flu, which is so common and so we get kind of indifferent to it, is really a very fierce virus.
The CDC is urging everyone older than 6 months to get vaccinated now. Flu activity often begins to increase in October, so they expect to see an influx of cases in the coming weeks.
We cannot rely on the flu virus to be predictable. It's fickle. It could turn into a hullabaloo in no time at all.
Joining us now is CBS News medical contributor Dr. Tara Narula. Tara, explain to us why some parents still seem to be somewhat skeptical when it comes to vaccines.
There's definitely a lot of reasons, and I think this recent survey that came out shed a lot of light on some of the concerns that parents have. So 30% of parents thought that it was a conspiracy. 30% said they thought that the vaccine might cause autism. 30% felt that it might just not work. And Elaine, none of these things are true. 50%, they felt like the flu vaccine could give their child the flu. So unfortunately, there's a lot of myths and a lot of misconceptions circulating, and we just keep trying to encourage parents to get the real science, to talk to their doctor if they have questions, and let the physician answer their questions and concerns, as opposed to maybe going to friends or family or the internet and getting information that's wrong and misleading.
Yeah, that can sometimes be very, very dangerous.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about adults, because a lot of adults think just because they're healthy, they don't necessarily need a flu shot. Is it equally important for them to get vaccinated as well?
I just got mine today.
You did? Okay. I got mine a few weeks ago, for the record, yes.
No, it is. And it's important, first of all, for their own safety, because we all think of the flu as, well, it's just the flu. But the reality is the flu can have serious consequences. It can evolve into other complications. In addition, by a person not getting immunized themselves, it potentially puts other people who are more vulnerable, for example, infants, immunosuppressed patients. These people can't have the flu vaccine. And so we create a society, essentially, where we're not immunized, we're not creating herd immunity, where we're allowing these vulnerable populations to become even more vulnerable.
And remind us, how long does it take to build up immunity after getting a flu shot?
It takes about 2 weeks for the antibodies to be produced, and unfortunately that's also a reason why some people say, well, I got the flu shot and I got the flu anyway. And it may be that they did get it in that time, that window of time, that 2 weeks. So it's not that the flu shot gave them the flu, it's not that the flu shot didn't work, it's that those 2 weeks they may have gotten infected at a time when their body hadn't built up enough antibodies yet.
So I feel like it's always worth reminding people, especially this time of year, in addition to getting the flu shot, what else can people do? What are some basic steps that people can take to prevent getting sick?
Hand washing, right? Coughing, sneezing into your arm, staying home if you think you're sick or you might have the flu. And important things for parents, I think if you do see signs that your child might have the flu or might be deteriorating, a lot of these deaths last year happened very quickly. The children were healthy and they died in 7 days. And we talked about this last year, you need to get your child to an emergency room to get them evaluated if you really see signs of respiratory distress or a very high fever or they're lethargic. These are some of the worrisome signs.
How high is a high fever, Dr. Narula?
Well, for children, it depends, but anything 103, 104, 105, that would be concerning for sure.
All right, good advice. Dr. Tara Narula, great to have you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.